Good morning. YouTube encourages new bloggers, YouTubers, whatever the term is, to post often. So I decided this morning that maybe we could have a coffee chat and talk about the subject of survivor's guilt. So grab you a cup of coffee and join me as we make coffee and take a little walk around Gracie's garden. See you soon. What does survivor's guilt look like? What does it feel like? Well, the answer is that it can look and feel different for everyone, though the symptoms are pretty similar. I suffer from it, and I wasn't even in the accident with my daughter and my granddaughters. I haven't mentioned this before in my past 2 videos, but I suffered a stress-induced heart attack and spent a week in the hospital while my daughter and granddaughter were in intensive care. I was in complete shock, and to this day, I remember voices, but not the faces of those who came into my room. I couldn't help my husband deal with the numerous decisions that needed to be made about my daughter's care, or my surviving granddaughter's care, or our Gracie's aftercare. I was useless to anyone. And though I knew I couldn't help my condition, I still yearned to be with everyone else, and I felt immense guilt that I couldn't be. I couldn't even go to visit them upstairs except for 30 minutes late at night when the shifts weren't as busy and I could be transported by a nurse, because I would often pass out from the trauma. I could spend 15 minutes with my daughter and 15 minutes with my grandchild, and that was it. Would they understand why I wasn't there? Where should I be? Who needs me the most? The truth was that I felt like a failure, and I felt guilty. But my doctors knew that I couldn't handle anything more at the time. So they kept me confined until the tests were concluded and until it was fairly certain that my daughter and granddaughter were going to survive. I was told by one of my medical caregivers, they had to be sure that your heart could handle what was ahead of you after the release of your loved ones, or in case there were setbacks. Folks, I am here to tell you that broken heart syndrome is real. See, as a mother, I knew that my daughter needed me in a way she never had before. I kept saying that it wasn't right, it wasn't fair that a mother should have to live this nightmare, especially without her mother, or that my granddaughter had to learn to live as an only child. The guilt consumed me, and sometimes it still pings at me today. 2 months after the accident was my birthday, and I decided that celebrating turning 60 when my granddaughter wouldn't see 7 was too much for me to bear. So I made it private on Facebook so that people wouldn't know that it was my birthday and wish me a happy birthday. I just didn't want that. and I still haven't made it public. It's just not something I care about now. See, I didn't understand why I was still here and she was gone, or that my child and granddaughter had to suffer the cruelty of this. I never will understand it. But I am able to reason with myself a little bit now by telling myself that they needed me to be here for the long haul, not just the weeks following the tragedy. The awful truth is that accidents happen in the blink of an eye. And even if I hadn't been with them, or had been with them, what could I have done to change anything? It's so easy to blame oneself or to blame others to make sense of an incomprehensible tragedy. But what people don't realize is that it can happen to anyone at any time. Ask me how I know this. Don't ever think that horrible things can't happen in your life like I once did. All we can do is take 1 second at a time, one heartbeat at a time. I felt guilty for sharing my grief when I saw my daughter's life shattered. So I tried to keep the focus off of myself. It was more important that she and my granddaughter heal and try to relearn their life in a different way. I can't speak for anyone but myself, so you won't hear me talking much about my husband's grief or my daughter's or anyone else's grief but my own. Their stories are not mine to share, but theirs, and we're all different. The purpose of my channel is to emphasize and share my perspective in ways that I try to stay focused on moving forward, yet not leaving our angel behind. Please don't suffer in silence. Find a counselor or a minister, or at least one person who wants to be your solace. I can only tell you that for me, I have come to accept that I will always yearn for the happy ending that we didn't get, and that I'm always going to hurt. We're human, and that's normal. But don't allow anyone to try and keep you down or make you feel guilty when they're really just looking for a way to ease their own pain and make sense of the nonsensical. You can't fix anyone else, but you have to fix you. I hope that you will start trying to release your guilt today.